Okay, this all started when I was aggressively advertised these cotton lehengas on Instagram, and I kind of wanted to make one, and you know what? I needed an outfit for my sister-in-law's Mendi brunch anyway. I found a website that sells like similar hand block fabrics, and then I used Adobe to play dress up with myself to try to figure out which fabrics look the best. Of course, I could not make a decision on my own, so I reached out to some fashionable friends, and the consensus seemed to be to buy the blue fabric. So that's what I bought. I waited patiently for 2 weeks as it came all the way from India to my doorstep in Washington, and then I prepped the fabric by washing it and ironing it. Of course, I had no idea what I wanted to do for the top, so I just started with the skirt because that seemed easiest, right? So I used a pattern as a loose guide for the top tier of the skirt because I knew that my waist size hasn't changed, and it helped me remember how to add pockets. The fabric came with a super, super pretty trim, so I decided to make the waistband of the skirt out of that fabric. And then I was hoping to incorporate that same trim somewhere else in the outfit. I was using a really classic skirt construction as well, where you start with fabric panels that are much wider than you desire, and then you gather the top edge using a basting stitch and pin it evenly along the next tier above. So in this case, it's the waistband, and then you sew the whole thing together. I knew that I wanted the skirt to be extremely voluminous, kind of like a traditional lehenga would have, so I made sure for the second and third tiers to add extra panels of fabric so that it would be even fluffier than pretty much any skirt I've ever worn before. So this is me doing a little bit of that process for the second tier. So this is what it's looking like right now with 2 tiers. I'm still planning to add a third tier, but I'm thinking I will probably need to make the second tier shorter to make it look more proportional. I might actually add a ruffle to the bottom out of this fabric as well. It's a lot of blue. It's a lot of blue. And repeat for the third tier. Guys, wait, hold on. Okay, get out of here. Look at the skirt. I know it's not finished. I still have to undo the zipper and connect the back, but look at how fluffy it is. As you can see, I was pretty excited about the skirt, so I decided to move on to the top. This first option is a tank top that I actually made, so I already have a pattern for it. And the second idea is to construct a top like this brown one that I feel like fits really well. And of course, what could be more fun than launching myself into a process I've never done before? So, of course, I had to try to recreate the brown top, which meant literally trying to figure out exactly how it's constructed and make my own pattern based on the shapes that I could just see from inspecting it. The only challenging part was that the back of the brown top is made of shirred material, and if you don't know, it's a technique you can use to make cotton flexible instead of rigid. And it basically just involves sewing over the top of it with elastic. Thankfully, I actually owned elastic thread that I've literally never used, literally for shirring, but I'd never done it before. So I just hand wound this bobbin with elastic. I'm about to try shirring for the first time. Put the bobbin in, you turn up your stitch length. You should turn your tension up. So I'm gonna do that, which I've never really done before. Oh my gosh, wait, oh my gosh, that worked. Okay, so let's sew some more. Literally, look at me, so happy to just be sewing. Look at that. Look at that. That's like shirring. That worked. Oh my god, I can't freaking believe it. That's so crazy. I now have a shirred piece of backing for the blouse. I have both sides cut and I lined it so that it has this really nice smooth edge. I have all the other pieces cut out, and now I'm thinking about the sleeve. I used my pattern to make a really, really sloppy prototype. So now I'm gonna use this to adjust the sleeves. So I've constructed the basic top. We've got our shirring panel, we've got our sleeves. I think it fits pretty well. Perhaps I made the bust a little too high. but there's not really anything I can do about that now. But yeah, let's throw on the skirt. I'm pretty proud of the fit of this and how similarly it resembles the top I drafted it from. Only thing left is to hem the bottom and then to add on the sleeves and shorten the sleeves. I don't like how long they are. And here is the top fully finished. So yeah, I really thought I got like the world's best time lapse this morning when I was making my second top, which I actually made reversible so that now I have 3 top options. But yeah, it didn't record at all, so whoops. Anyway, I really want your feedback on which of these tops I should wear. Guys, I know this looks ridiculous, but I'm just a girl with iMovie and a dream, and it turns out iMovie like can't do anything. Okay, love you. Bye.